Hello everyone. Oh my god. Hi everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. I was trying to adjust my camera to avoid the sun, but hey, it is what it is. I'm not gonna complain. Not gonna be too many sunny days left for us here in Michigan, even though it's quite nice. So, today's guys, I would like to just briefly touch on a topic of gossiping and um, why Slavic women are seem to um, be caught up in that often, maybe more often than in people in the Western culture. Even though I understand that in the Western culture as well, um, there are a lot of people that are doing that. And what it is about gossiping that is so um attractive for people. I don't really watch a lot of TV, but we all know what sells the best on TV, right? We all know that uh whatever. We all know that the journals, the gossip journals sells the best. The hot news or whatever hot topics, they sell the best. Why people are so in love with the gossip, what is so attractive about somebody else's life. Yeah, so I guess in Western world people just more careful in working environment, or in if they are smart. um but still, gossip even in Western culture. I just realized that's right, there are shows and um shows and newspapers, and these magazines that when you stand near checkout at the grocery store, there are always this crazy magazines with the gossip. So what it is, um and also one of my concerns is a man who gossip, and men who even come to my channel and trying to make a mess of things. And it's just so extremely unmasculine, but that's for another video. So I would say this, guys: when I was growing up, there was not so much to do for women. A lot of women stayed home with children, and I guess I believe that reasons for gossiping is when your own life is not truly fulfilled, when you don't have enough going on in your own life. For example, when you are truly busy, when you're doing things that you love, do you really care about Kevin's heart mistress, or somebody else, or somebody having a child with somebody? I mean, do you even have time to think about it? And that comes to your friends circle, do you really have time to worry about who, you know what your friends are doing? Do you really um have time to call another friend and discuss with them what's going on with that other friend? I feel that one of the major reasons why people are so thirsty for the hot topic news and discussing somebody is because their own life is lacking fulfillment, because their own lives, they don't feel in control of their own life. And that is sort of like spice, that, oh yeah, somebody have a lover, somebody have an affair, somebody is having a child on the side. Oh my god, let's talk about it. Oh yeah. Well, some of these people who gossip, and they wish that something would be going on in their life. Maybe even an affair, because nobody uh pay attention to them. And so I believe you got to be very careful when you choose friends, because a lot of times people would spread rumors about you that not true, and it can hurt you. So when it comes to, once again, Slavic culture, I think it's improving a lot right now because people realizing that they are their main focus of attention, and the woman who is not given her family her best, when she is not, working on her own goals, uh, main goal for a woman is fulfill her life and be happy, whatever it is, because it's even, to my opinion, a little bit less about external success and more about eternal success. That's just my opinion. So uh, lack of possibilities, lack of opportunities to change your own life, or even admit that you would like to change it, you would like your life to be, more fulfilling. um it just bothers me, this hair bothers me. But it's okay, hey. So, make your life more fulfilling, make it um more satisfying. It's a lot of work, and some people feel that they cannot do it, and so they spend their evenings, watching gossip or gossiping about others. And now there is a difference, between getting together with friends and sharing things about your life or somebody else's life, but not doing there is a reason why you bring something up. Maybe you want to help a friend, maybe you have a friend who is suffering and you want to help, or something, you need to warn somebody about something. That is very different. But just gossiping as an art, as a way to spend your free time, it is so very sad. And it is really so, I don't know, it's just so disappointing that people would spend their time criticizing others or telling others how you know how terrible they are, even not even thinking about, not even have enough of bravery to tell them into their face. That's the thing that bothers me the most about the gossiping, is that people are so such a cowards that they do it behind the person's uh, behind their back. So, and that is, sometimes you cannot avoid the situation when you talk about somebody else with other person. So the best thing you can do, if you need to bring something up, say the things that you would say if that other person was present. That is my rule, because sometimes you cannot avoid, you have to bring certain things up, and um make sure that thing that you say, you can tell that in that other person's face. That's it. But now let's just talk about silly gossiping. When people, pop into your channel and they say, "Oh, I know you're bad. You're doing something bad. You are a scammer, or you're this, you're that." Or when people talking behind your back. Um, One of the things, guys, I would like to warn you that if you have a Ukrainian lady that comes and she will want to make Ukrainian friends, Russian friends, I don't know, Czech Republic friends, whatever Slavic countries friends, she will want to make friends, but don't push her. Do not push her to be friends with other people, because eventually, when she will gain a better circle of friends, she will only be in touch with people who really connect with her and her interests, and not just uh, the language. The language won't be the most important thing, because I I'm gonna reveal a big secret. I don't have very many friends. um I mean, Russian or Ukrainian. I have a few that I trust and I enjoy them very much. But I stopped talking to a number of people because I realized that they are gossiping. They are gossiping, and they're gossiping about you if your life is ordinary, not interesting. They really gossiping about you if you're doing extraordinary things with your life, or if your life does not fit certain stencil, like certain like certain pattern, right? And you want to be very careful um, with your Ukrainian women as well. One of the problems, often Ukrainian wives share their marital problems with their friends. And it's just part of our culture. People share everything. They don't really have the psychiatrist, psychologist, or how you call it, therapists. And so they feel they adjust and they having a hard time, and so they feel that they'd like to share their marital problems with friends. And this is something I one of the reasons I'm making this video too. So if you have a new wife and she has issues, tell her that you can she can talk to somebody. She can talk to a therapist, to a counselor, to whoever whoever you trust. This way, whatever she needs to get off your chest, it will be safe. It won't hurt you, because it's part of our culture to talk with our friends about our husbands and some very intimate things. Um, some things so that I might have shared about my personal life with friends, 10 years ago, are definitely not the things that I would share now. I understand now how important it is to keep that intimacy and to keep the trust, and that your husband or your man is your best friend. Otherwise, you should not be living with him. And so when you have rough time, you can overshare, with girlfriends about, what you're going through in your marriage, and it can really hurt your marriage. You don't need that. So when you connecting with Ukrainian lady and you're marrying, you can agree on certain things, and you can say, hey, if you're frustrated with me, if we having bad time, I'll be more than happy to help you to um, consult with somebody. You can find, it's the problem is it's very hard to find like a Russian therapist or consultant. That's why I am pretty busy. I have actually several people right now that I'm just helping their wives to adjust. uh, Often, Russian, Ukrainian, Slavic people, they do not connect so well with American therapists, but nevertheless there are great therapists th. But you have to have that conversation. There is always an option. It's very uncomfortable. In this situation, I'm more of a man's advocate, because I think it's absolutely awful, if your wife, sharing with somebody, your sexual problems, or your other intimate problems, or that you are not man enough problems, or that you're not providing enough. I think this should be discussed between two people, uh is two people in a marriage or two people in a relationship, or could be discussed, with a person, with a trusted person that will not spread that information. Because I can put myself easily in the place of that husband, how awful it is, if as a woman, your man, your husband, your lover, whoever, talks about your intimate things with his friends. I mean, it is absolutely awful. And maybe part of the reasons why in the Slavic culture is not so popular to people still overshare with friends, is because when we grew up, in post USSR, it was very uncommon to go to get any kind of psychological help. It was very uncommon to um, ask somebody outside of your friends and family, going to um, therapists, advisors, consultants, was or coaches, it didn't even exist. Okay, so that's why people shared with friends, and it does have a lot of downside because friends have their interests, they have their agendas. Sometimes they are jealous of something, and they not always, and unfortunately people not always have your best interest in mind. Plus, once again, it is very embarrassing when somebody talks about your personal, intimate details with another person. I mean, you guys, I see now I have some people in the room. What do you think about this? I think it's awful, and I have to admit that is one of the serious downsides in Ukrainian culture is oversharing and um gossiping or whatever however we call it. So how would I recommend you to deal with that? I'm gonna tell you in a minute. I'm gonna see who's in the room. I wasn't really okay. I see the guys are agreeing with me. Hey Robert, let's see. Hey Robert, hey Stan, what's up? Yes, it is true. So thank you for supporting me, guys. um yes, but I just want to tell you, from my own experience, it is so important to address that. um Sometimes when we meet somebody we feel that things gonna magically be great, but I think it's really important to be able to kind of make a like your own marriage contract. It's like, okay, things are going great right now, we love each other, we enjoy each other, but let's have this. Okay, when I'm mad, I'm going to another room. When I need to talk to somebody, I'm gonna go to a professional counselor. Maybe I'm gonna hire a coach or consultant. As I told you guys, I do this. I don't have to, it's probably maybe 30 to 40% of what I do is also that I help some Ukrainian women to adjust, because a lot of times, when you come, you have hard times adjusting, but also you how shall I put this? A lot of Ukrainian women have hard time with American mentality, and often they do have wonderful caring husbands, but they don't understand certain things. Like sometimes it's a financial thing. They think their husband is being stingy, but in fact he's actually investing the money and planning the future. Sometimes they think that their husband is being too polite with somebody, but it's a part of a culture. I had a client who her husband was making compliments to a lot of women and females, but making compliments and small talk is such a part of American culture. In our culture, you rarely, if you have a wife and you have other women, you're very careful with making compliments to other women, because jealousy can be created, and your lady can get mad. In American culture, in many circles, it's okay to make compliments. It's just a part of a culture. I personally love it. I think, if you make an appropriate compliment, it just makes everybody's day, it lifts everybody's mood. And I was working with this lady. It was kind of cool because we were able to speak our language, because usually in my consulting I only speak English. And so we were talking with her, and she was telling me how much she concerned that her husband making compliments to all these ladies. And I asked her, does he make compliments to you? Do you get compliments? She said yes, all the time. And I told her, he's just that kind of person. He sees the best in people. And I do know this man. I've been helping him for a couple of years, and things are going great for him. I know him very, very well. He's um, a fantastic person. He does lift everybody up. He's very vibrant. And I told him, if you don't want his light to stop shining, if you want him to close up and to be this then criticize him for complimenting other ladies. He is not with those other ladies. He is with you. He chose to take you, bring you here. He went through the mess of immigration and airfares and visas, and he was my client for about 6 months. I was guiding him, so he spent money on a lot of things. And so, do you really think that he brought you all the way here to hit on other women? He is just a gentleman. He's very polite, and that's who he is. So, guys, these misunderstandings, they are going to happen, and I say notice them early and try to do something about them. You can also go to well, if you can go to somebody, okay, somebody that you trust. If your lady have hard time adjusting, or if you know that she's oversharing, um, there are many options that you can consider, but I want to tell you, please forgive her before you get to the point of no return, or before it gets bad, because it's not your fault. We grew up in a society where women, often when they were off work, they were raising kids, they did not have much time for themselves. They didn't know about self-care. The psychological knowledge was not available, so they were just trying to fill up their time with something, and that was talking about other people. And people did not also know about the danger of sharing personal things. You never know when somebody gonna pull that against you. Unfortunately, a lot of people, they get make you trust them, and then they get the information, and you never know when they're gonna step that knife in your back. That was my problem. My mom would always tell me that I was a very, very open person. I just always believe in best in people, and of course I got stabbed a couple of times in my life, and my mom would always tell me those things. So you have to learn how to deal with certain situations. uh Mind your own business, journal and things like that. And my last point is, I will make video about the men gossiping. Guys, women gossiping is not pretty, but men's gossiping is ugly. If you notice, I have this new guy that comes to my comments and just writes all kinds of BS in them. And I dealt with those things a lot. When I see a guy who comes to a lady's channel and he makes gossips on the channel, I just feel so sorry for him. It's just like, it's just so unfortunate. So, if you as a man, you need an outlet, you have a lot of ways to do that, but don't do that by trying to put somebody down, or give them advice they don't ask you to, or asking inappropriate questions. If you have issues, I understand, as a man sometimes it's harder to show your emotions. Go take some therapy, work on your life, fulfill your life, create something. And that is another problem. As a man, you can build your life and make it better. As a woman, as women, we were meant to create. And I feel that women who have time to gossip and talk behind people's back, it takes so much energy, and that energy could have been used to create. I want to tell this, and that's a very important point, even though it comes in the end of my video. But uh when women having that too much time on their hands, and they are not busy and not dedicated, it's a disaster. uh, it's a total disaster. I don't know what that means, because I personally have so many more things I want to do, that I need like three lifetimes to explore things I'd like to explore and create things I want to create. I have another problem. So if you a lady, because I have a few ladies that listening to me. If you have time for negativity and for, you know, blabbing about somebody, blah blah blah, add, start creating, start doing something. You will see, you will get your juices flowing, and you won't have time or interest to focus on anybody else. You'll be focusing on you, and you're going to be waking up every single day excited. You know, when you really have time to create something, whatever it is it physical, is this lessons, are those whatever you create, are you, you know, if you're a teacher, if you cook, if you raise kids, if you have your own business, if you create fashion, I mean, you value time so very much. And the last thing you want to go and go and listen, okay, you know, what's going on gossip show today, or let me just waste my time and tell how useless my husband is, you know. I think that women who are busy and excited about life, that using their time, that are dedicated to their family, they when they meet with their girlfriends, they having fun. You know, when I meet, and I'm so excited it's gonna happen soon, you know, when we meet with our girlfriends, we laugh like it's our last time in our lives. You know, we're just having so much fun. Yes, we discuss certain things, but it never goes, it never crosses the boundary, and it never goes to level of the intimacy where it could hurt somebody. So the secret against the gossiping is make sure you create something in your life, whatever it is. You're moving in your career, you're learning languages, you're expanding, you're traveling, you have something. You really live your purpose, you fulfill your life, and for different people it's a different things. But I truly believe that when you are busy focusing on you, you have no time to criticize others, or you know, or you know, making stories about them, or whatever it is. So, well, my brief video is 30 minutes long, so I hope you enjoy this, guys. I have to go. I can't wait to get on the road. I'm in my car. Some of you guys ask why I make videos in my car. Well, when I make videos at home, it means that the video can how to say this, it can go for forever because I get questions and all of that. When I'm in my car, I know I got to get going at some point. So that's why. Another thing, um, if I could record video while I drive, that would be the best. I love being in the motion, like on the go. So that's why a lot of people ask me that. Some people think I don't have a home. No, guys, I want to reassure you, I do have a home. Let me see. Well, thank you guys. I'm so glad that what I'm sharing making sense. Okay. Rob Ireland is saying, when my fiance got angry with me, we were talking out our problems and it was resolved. Took about 2 weeks, but she started realizing that I was saying the truth. Yes. The best thing, if you can resolve it, you know, between you, that is the best. You know, talking to other people, unless they are professional people that can help you with your relationship, is pointless. Because if you're not happy with your husband or your wife, you know, talking how bad they are to others, okay, how's that's going to change? You have to find a way to address the issue to your spouse, right? You have to find a way to address um issue to the person who is the reason for that issue. Or you know, if I talk to my neighbor about the man I'm with, what can he do? You have to talk to your man or your woman or your wife or your husband or whoever. You have to find a way to talk to them. Sometimes it's so bad that you cannot, then you know, you might you might consider a counselor or therapist. But seriously, that is maybe, we'll continue talking about it sometime in another topic, but really so very important to have the bravery. That's so important, to have that bravery to find a way to talk to the person you need to talk to, because it's only between you and them to resolve that issue. They are the only person that you can talk to and have a different and make a difference with that conversation. So that's it. Talking to your friends, your mother, whoever, not gonna help. You have to have the bravery to talk. And once again, people who gossiping behind your back, they are weak and they are behind your back, which means you're ahead of them. I've never seen people who are more successful than you, happier than you, better than you in any case, talking about you. That's one thing I've learned. The people who are more successful than you in any way, size, shape, or form, they don't have a minute for you. They have not a single minute for you. They got a stuff to do. They have better things to do. So that's it. Let's make sure that those of you who are on this video, realize that we have to be respectful to others behind their back. So yeah. Thank you so much. Somebody said you speak in the truth. Creativity is much better used. Yes, creativity is the most amazing thing that as human being we are blessed with. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Steen Mortensen. Sure, creativity is important, but without love, it felt empty. Well, creativity is love. Maybe you're talking about your relationship, that your relationship felt empty. Well, yes, that is true. Without love, it is empty. So, anyways, guys, I'm appreciating you being here. A lot of updates coming soon. I gotta get on the road because somebody is waiting for me. I don't want to be late and disrespectful. So it's a beautiful day here in Michigan, and today in person, I want to thank you once again. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel and supporting and believing in me. And I'm grateful to every single one of you. Thank you so very much. I hope to provide a lot more insight and information and inspiration for you guys. So if you have some ideas for the channel, things you want to hear more, topic ideas and such, please feel free to share in the comments. So thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon.